My name is Evan Harrington. Why did that happen? What is this? What is the diabolical science plan here? And he goes, it's Buffalo Pepsi. You want to try some? Look at him like, Buffalo Pepsi? I was like, look at him like, there's different flavors?
The biggest Jags fan of all time, Justin Bachman. To be biased, but Duval. I'm your host, Frank the Tank Lopez. I'm ready to fight a kid if it happens. If one kid says one dumb thing tomorrow about Baker Mayfield or anything, I'm punching a kid. Boom!
Mr. Brotherly Love here, Chris Giacobello. I know how to turn the mics on, Dan.
That's a good thing to know.
We got it. Progress.
My name's Dan Dale, a.k.a. Double D.
You're quiet. I can barely hear you.
Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet?
Dan, you're quiet.
How am I ever quiet?
Here is The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
Live here from Buffalo State University.
Welcome back to The Blitz on 91.3 WBNY. Buffalo's original alternative since 1982. I'm your host, Frank the Tank. Joining me in Studio A, a little bit surprised to me as I walk in pretty late, Emma.
Hey guys, Emma Nosby here. Shout out to my professor for canceling class so I can be on the show today.
Thank you, Professor. We really appreciate that. In Studio B, it's a little cramped up over there.
Did you even try your last name yet?
Yeah, what is it?
Nosby.
Nosby.
Yes, my last name is Nosby.
All right.
It's not that hard, Frank.
Don't.
It may look hard, but it's easy.
Yeah,
Look, it's not as bad as calling Justin Jackson.
Ew.
Constantinople.
Constantinople.
I like that. In Studio B, we have Duval, Justin Bachman.
Yes, sir, Duval.
Brotherly Love, looking so beautiful today, Chris Giacobello.
You're looking more handsome than ever, Frank. I don't know what it is. You
Chris,
just get
what
more
are
handsome
you
every
doing
day.
to this show?
I'm spreading love.
Why is
You've
there
become a lovely man lately.
Why is there so much
Supposedly.
serenation on this show?
Over
I
there,
don't know.
the hater himself, Mr. Double D, Dan Dale.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm hating today.
We're all cuddling together here in Studio B.
Yeah, Brandon moved things around, our student engineer. And he's made us all become like peas in a pod.
What's happening over there?
We are blaming Brandon.
We are all one.
We are all one.
You know what? How was your guys' night last night?
Wild.
Yeah, well,
That's all you guys say about it?
Just wild. I'm not going to go into detail on the air.
I had way too much fun before the Super Bowl to the point that I when the whistle blew, I thought I was on the sideline with Kyle Shanahan calling the plays. And then post Super Bowl, in my very climactic depressionist state, I traveled to the bar and proceeded to call plays for myself for another 2 hours.
Wonderful.
This man created a whole playbook.
I wrote a book last night.
I wrote a book.
I couldn't tell you.
Mine count.
I couldn't tell you.
Whoa!
I couldn't tell you the title.
You timeout corner.
It's his struggles.
Timeout. Turn around. Goodbye. Leave. There you go.
Bye, Chris.
Let's just say Jawan Jennings won my Super Bowl MVP.
You know what? In all honesty,
Jose
that's
Corvo
probably
was my
true.
MVP.
Give some love to the kickers, honestly. They, got all the points.
Yo, Jake Moody actually looking like a competent kicker for a
Moody held
game.
the record
Exactly.
for
Now
3
people
minutes.
won't question why he got drafted in the 3rd round.
Because he went to Michigan.
True, that too. Gross. We are.
Guys, last night sucked.
Yeah,
I'm just going to get to the point.
Yeah.
Last night sucked.
Yes.
I don't know. I pretty had a good last night.
Everything about that game was uninteresting up until the very last point when then they just were like, yeah, let's.
Even then, I didn't really care.
Look, I thought the commercials won at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There was one good commercial.
And that's the Verizon commercial starring Beyonce.
That was the Deadpool 3 trailer.
The Dung Kings.
Beyonce literally released 2 singles, announced her album during the middle of the Super Bowl. The whole internet exploded, at least on my end. As a member of the Beehive, I literally ran into the bathroom at my friend's house to listen to this stuff and stopped watching the game because that's how much I love Beyonce.
I got to watch what's his name? The actor of Deadpool. It's slipping.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I got to see that guy have a hand across his backside 3 times in one commercial. That was quite the endeavor. I will say so myself.
What? This is we're 5 minutes into this. Things.
I mean, most of you guys are probably hungover. I would say at the least.
Banging right now.
I just would like to say I was the only one who said Chiefs on Friday.
Oh, did you say the other?
No, Frank said Chiefs.
No,
Did you lose that game on Friday,
not?
Frank?
I
You
said
lost that
Niners.
game, right? That game we
you
played?
faked it out. That's right.
Did you lose at the very end? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh. He's
The
bringing
upset.
up Friday.
I still love you, Frank.
Don't talk.
This is such a passive aggressive.
I just don't understand.
relationship.
This is an
I don't understand
Alexa
it.
love
Play
narrative is
Love
too
Story
complex.
by Taylor Swift.
One
This is a
second, this
toxic
man
love
goes,
story.
"I love you, Frank." Next second, you remember who won, you loser?
I don't even. Where do we even?
Who else?
Where do
who
we
else
go
played?
How do we get back on track?
I got
Frank,
a
you're
question.
producer. You got to figure
I
this
got a
out.
question. Who else played a game revolving around how many times Taylor Swift got shown on TV?
Me.
That's what I just told you. Jose Cuervo was my MVP last night.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Shout out to Hoop Tea. Way better than Twisted Tea.
Yeah, you know that guy. You know that guy, the captain. They call him Morgan.
Yup.
Love that morgue.
Oh god, we were shaking hands to a T yesterday. It was quite the time.
Also, I
Oh.
learned Kendall Jenner makes an awful tequila, but it actually doesn't hurt on the way
The
down.
818 tequila.
818. It feels nice going down.
Everyone who's a fan of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will understand the importance of Kendall Jenner's 818 tequila.
All I'm saying, it felt nice going down.
A1A. Sounds like A1 sauce. I don't like the sound of it.
sauce.
I learned over the weekend, speaking of A1, that Josh Allen likes to dip his fries into A1 sauce.
That sounds beautiful.
That's
Oh,
a king move.
Steak fries
And
and
then he throws
A1
up
sauce.
before-
I mean,
every
that
game.
sounds good, honestly.
Some nice steak fries, some deep ridges.
He said he's not a ketchup
Yeah, he says
guy.
he's not a ketchup dude.
I can't
That's
accept
disappointing.
that. I can't accept that.
And then you see the Mayo commercial where the cat dates Pete Davidson for a time being.
What?
Oh yes.
Did you not see that?
I was
He can't
You were
remember what he
intoxicated,
did.
Frank?
in a Pong tournament, and then I was not paying attention.
Oh, that sounds like you, Frank.
Did you win?
Me and my partner made it to the semifinals.
Oh, so you didn't even win?
Sounds just like the Bucks.
Yikes.
Man, just sounds like Friday.
What's on the side of my hat? What's on the side of my hat? Oh, Super Bowl patch. Oh, Super Bowl patch. My head hurts right now. Please don't do this. I don't want to yell. Please, God, don't make me do this, Justin. Please, my head hurts.
He's begging you not
You know
to
what?
tempt him.
You know what? Just because my head also hurts, hence the hangover cure, the Schweppes ginger ale.
I gotta
What-
go to
what
some
a-
Schweppes.
Justin, we are on the same thought today, but
Oh,
I do
my
not
goodness.
drink
If
because
I-
I'm
if I
underage.
The hangover
You'll
cure
be there
is
soon,
real.
Dan.
You know, I got a month, and we're going to the Bandits game right before my birthday.
Let's
Oh,
go.
before is crazy.
One day. And then right after, I am starting to play in Sabres After Dark.
First pregame.
So the
of Dan.
18th and the 19th. So those will be my first 2 days, or second and third day, as a legal citizen who can drink.
No.
Wait a minute.
That
Wait,
week
Dan,
is
when's your
gonna be
birthday?
awful.
March 17th.
Oh, March 17th. Okay.
I am. Everybody drinks on my birthday,
Yeah,
and they just don't
no.
know they're celebrating me.
Dad,
True.
this is gonna be awful. I can't go from St. Patrick's Day to then having to hammer on your birthday.
Oh, dude,
I know, this sucks.
we are going Bandits game, St. Patrick's Day, and then 2 days of Sabres After Dark.
God.
My bloodstream is going to be 92.6% alcohol.
2 days of Sabres after
2
dark?
days. It's the last 2 West Coast games at 10 o'clock.
My listen. Okay, I'll
My
be there.
liver hurts already.
Look, we gotta do some. All right,
Some is crazy.
Plus, we might be doing one next week, Monday.
What's Monday?
Monday's actually a Sabres game at 12:30, and it's a day off for all of us
Oh,
because
yeah,
there
you
are no
mentioned in the chat.
classes.
Okay, so we will be there then.
Oh, we're actually going to do... Are we doing it? I didn't get a clear consensus, yes or no.
When did you text this?
I
This
texted
morning.
it at like 10 when I have time to think about these things.
Yeah, I was not awake, so I did not.
We'll talk more about this
Off
after
air?
the show. Yes.
Indeed.
Should we get back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, sure. We can talk
Unfortunately,
about
Devon Jennings was the MVP if the Niners win.
it. Yeah.
True.
It was either him or CMC. CMC was balling out too.
Yeah.
But I
You
felt
know.
like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I felt like Christian McCaffrey was being used like way too much, and that they were expecting him to be like this one-all Superman. I know that Deebo Samuel went down with an injury, but he came back afterwards.
Yes. The thing, here's
Question: where was Brandon Ayuk?
No way.
Brandon
Nowhere.
Ayuk was locked up.
Yeah, he was being...
Was he really?
So
Yeah.
is Kittle.
Brandon
Kittle was
Ayuk and
pretty
George
much-
Kittle. Oh my goodness. Drew Tranquil didn't get his name called once last night. He was probably the defensive MVP. If not him, it was Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because both of those guys were locking up because they had L'Jarius Sneed on Deebo Samuel, which left Trent McDuffie, a second-year corner, on one of the better wide receivers in the league, and he had 2 catches, and then left Drew Tranquil, a journeyman linebacker, in the middle with the best, I'll say it, the best tight end in the league.
Yeah. So what, 2 catches for...
I think he had 2 catches. One of them was like a bomb, and the
Yeah.
other one was like 3 yards.
And then they usually just attack I believe it's one of the safeties. I don't remember strong or free, but Mike Edwards.
Oh, yeah,
For
no,
the Chiefs.
Mike Edwards.
He was targeted the whole game. That was their game plan. Whoever's on him, go after him. Just force it in there. You just got nothing better to do because they were getting nothing else from everywhere. And in all honesty, I was waiting for Brock Purdy to just scramble out and run it himself. I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for them to actually take advantage of what they were setting up with
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey at the beginning of the game. Because like you look at the 49ers, and I love and hate Tony Romo on the announced team because like he predicts everything to a T, but then he predicts way too much. Because then he's saying, oh yeah, they're gonna run it through CMC in the first half, and then they're gonna throw it down the field with Brock Purdy in the second half. It's all gonna be lights out for the 49ers, blah 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 blah. Brother, they ran through CMC the entire game. Guy averaged like 5 yards a bump, but then they tried to pass the ball and then nobody's open. And so, they give it back to CMC.
And then L'Jarius Sneed said the game plan was let Brock Purdy throw.
Yeah, no, that's
which is
crazy.
so disrespectful.
Okay, but yet Patrick Mahomes was the one who threw the interception? Question mark.
But that was an overthrown ball. But I mean, let's be honest. In the first half, the Niners had the Chiefs' number. It was starting to look like the Buccaneers Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yes,
I
thought that too.
It was for a minute because
Yeah.
like they just kept sending heat beyond heat beyond heat.
Consistent 3rd and outs.
And it
not
was
being able to
consistent
produce.
3
It
and
was-
outs. It was Patrick Mahomes having to make a move. It was Patrick Mahomes having to get out of the pocket. And they did force a few mistakes. And shout out to the Niners safety, who was a backup. He wasn't even, I don't remember who their starting safety. Oh, it's Tyler Wanufunga. Wasn't out there last night. He had an injury during practice this week.
Oh, yeah.
So they had their backup
That damn
safety.
field.
And he went out there and he got the interception, and then he went down, and then they had a 3rd-string safety in there, and Patrick Mahomes exposed him on the final drive. And
Just to let you all know, his name is Jair Brown, and he is a Penn State alum. We are. You will find out shortly in this whole thing, now that I'm here, that I'm a huge Penn State fan. My little sister is a sophomore there, and I love Penn State football and what they're doing right now. So shout out Jair Brown.
Shout out.
Shout out.
What about, though, that safety that was completely lost on that deep bomb to... I forgot who caught it.
It was.
You know what I'm talking about.
It was it MVS or Justin Watson?
it might have been Justin
It
Watson.
was. I think it was Justin
Because
Watson.
I think MVS only had the touchdown.
Yeah. No, I think it was Justin Watson. Yeah.
My
he,
brain
He really just.
exploded from
Yeah. he really just lost it in the lights. I don't know what happened. I don't know why you didn't keep running with the receiver.
He
but
legitimately stopped in place.
I mean, even if I am shocked Mahomes took that shot because that safety went way too high. And who was underneath him that was wide open? Travis Kelce. which was still
Yeah.
probably another 20-yard gain.
Wild.
Also,
I mean,
it's
either
Mahomes
way,
in
you
the
would have thrown it.
It's Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He's gonna.
I
will
know,
take that
but
risk.
I'm shocked he wouldn't throw it to a wide open Travis Kelce.
Miss Kelsey's a bum.
Yeah, no, he was wide open there. But I actually just looked at all the stats. George Kittle actually only had 2 catches for 4 yards last night.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So the bomb,
No,
the
but
bomb over the
was
middle,
took back from Trey Winters.
the bomb over the middle was to Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
No. The 1-2 Kittle though that was caught. It was called back.
Yeah. that
Oh
was the
yes,
penalty.
yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are right. It was penalized. But shout out to Kyle Juszczyk, by the way, best fullback of all time.
Best fullback. That was
well,
to
actually,
open that. To start with that was insane.
hang on, wait a minute. Second best fullback of all time. Technically, Franco Harris is a fullback, but
Oh, yes.
That is
R.I.P.
true.
Penn
Yeah.
State alum. This is like the Penn State theme or something.
A Train.
one more time.
Mike Allstott.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, Kyle Juszczyk.
I have him on my Madden Ultimate team, if that makes you feel any better.
That makes you feel a little better.
Okay, there you go.
Kyle Juszczyk. But the offense, they ran it through Christian McCaffrey. They threw Christian McCaffrey had 30 ball touches. He had
33.
He had 22 carries, 8 catches. He had 160 yards and a touchdown.
Can I be honest? Even then, it still didn't feel enough.
Even then, it didn't feel enough. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
So I guess the question is, if it isn't enough, what do you do as the 49ers moving forward with this in terms of...
You try it out with Sam Darnold.
Some people have said, can Kyle Shanahan?
What?
Yeah, some people have
Yes.
brought up the idea
there's
of
this guy
canning
at work.
Kyle
there's,
Shanahan.
There's this guy at work today that I know. He's a huge 49ers fan, and we talked about the Super Bowl this morning, and he said that too. He's like, I want Kyle Shanahan out, and I'm like, I respect the guy. So I don't know what's going on the inside as in terms of 49ers fans, but I have no idea. I would never think to fire Kyle Shanahan.
He's 0-3 in Super Bowls.
So,
He was a head
okay,
coach.
so
when
But
he was
what
he's
a-
though?
made it to 3 Super
Sean
Bowls.
McDermott
at least.
hasn't made
Exactly.
one.
What?
What?
McDermott hasn't made one.
Yeah.
But we're not even talking
Okay,
about.
Todd Bowles
McDermott?
hasn't made
Oh,
one
We're
as a head
talking
coach.
apples. You're talking oranges.
I was going to say, like,
That makes no sense.
it's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, each season it's going to start out with playoff caliber instead of championship caliber, because at the end of the day, you can't go and get the Lombardi Trophy if you're not in the playoffs.
Can I just say Juwan Jennings, first player, actually second player in NFL history to throw and catch a TD pass?
Who's the first one?
Who's the first?
Nick Foles, baby. I knew you were going to say that.
I was waiting for Frank Mosley just to, you know.
He
Who's
wasn't
the
paying
first one,
attention.
Frank?
He's like online shopping.
My
or
phone
something
is
right now.
listening to me.
Don't- hey.
I just got the straight up stat that you just said. My phone is listening to me. I am scared.
No,
I
way.
always knew
I am
that.
worried.
The government is always listening.
Let's talk about how we got Mecole Hardman with the game winning touchdown. A guy who
Was on the Jets.
drafted by the Chiefs, got released, signed by the Jets, traded back to the Chiefs just to catch a game winning pass.
He
in the Super
literally
Bowl.
went from like the worst team in the AFC to actually no, I lied. Technically, record wise, it's the Patriots. However,
Worst team in the AFC is wild.
Jets are not the worst team in the AFC.
Jets are the worst team in the AFC.
Wrong.
No.
I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. I feel like the stories I've heard from the New York Jets are very like the office and the locker room is just not like
Listen,
clicking.
if it's Joe Douglas knows what he's doing though.
True.
That's the only
Robert
competent per-
Saleh doesn't though.
That's why Joe Douglas
But
is the
here's
only
the thing,
competent
it
person.
sucks because I really respect Robert Saleh and I was really hoping the best for him. And especially because I'm very big with defensive coaches still getting head coaching positions. Like at the end of the day, I'm very much a defense wins championships
So
type
you
of
respect Todd Bowles a lot. I appreciate it.
thing. No, yeah, I
What
do.
a
No, she went no first and then yeah.
No,
yeah.
I was stuttering. I didn't know what I was thinking. That came out of left field here, man. I was talking
Hang
about
on.
Robert Saleh. You were talking about a whole different man.
Hang on. We need
Mr.
to.
It's okay. We
himself?
accept Todd Bowles slander here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There was a lot of Todd Bowles slander before halfway through the season where he turned it around. Would you like to talk about it, Frank? Where that slander came from?
He's typing something. I don't know what he's
yeah,
typing.
first you're
I don't
saying
know.
fire Todd Bowles. Now he's the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
goodness.
changed
Why
What-
are
there?
we pulling up
changed?
photos of Sean McDermott?
Sean McDermott, my coach, the second best coach of in
The-
Bill's history.
Shut up,
Are you
Frank.
talking about the
Shut
locker room
up.
speech?
Shut
Is it the
up.
locker room speech?
Shut up.
You want to get into
Shut up.
Was it
slanders?
Sean McDermott's locker room speech?
Shut
Is
up.
that what he
Possibly.
just
I was
showed?
looking
Yes.
for one of the edited photos.
You're
but
looking
no.
for one of them? Of
Freaking
course.
jerk, idiot.
It's not on Google yet. One of the edited photos of him.
How classic.
It's kind of funny because Rex Ryan knocked Todd Bowles out of the playoffs back when he was on the Jets. And that's Rex
No one
Ryan.
likes Todd Bowles Jets anyway. Mark Sanchez doesn't even like it, and he was on it for his entirety of his life.
Does anybody listen to his podcast?
Mark Sanchez has a podcast?
Yeah, it's like fourth and something. I forgot what it's called, but
It's not called the butt fumble.
no, actually.
That's disappointing.
Hang on, I'm
honestly.
gonna look this up now.
You do that, I'm looking at what I need to look up.
You guys do that. I am going to bring up the point of the matter of who played better from the quarterback perspective. I mean, we can look at the stats from last night's game. A lot of people will say Patrick Mahomes, but statistically, if you are indeed a stat tracker,
Fourth and Forever, it's called.
That's
you're
dumb.
right. That is what it's called. I did remember that.
And then he has
Um,
another one with Nick Mangold called The Exchange.
Interesting.
Jack Exchange, funny.
Brock Purdy attempted 38 passes last night, 23 completions, 255 yards, 1 touchdown, got sacked 1 time, also had 12 yards on the ground, which is a lot more than I thought he would have, being completely honest. Patrick Mahomes attempted almost 50 passes last night. Isaiah Pacheco got shut down on the ground. Patrick Mahomes, 9 rushes for 66 yards, had 333 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, got sacked 3 times, and the Chiefs fumbled twice. Now,
And
How-
Kadarius Toney wasn't even playing.
how do the Niners lose this game?
It's
How?
like we said, we read off CMC stats, and it seems like he had a good game. It felt like he really had no massive impact in the second half.
I really think what hurt the 49ers the most, which I think everybody can agree on, Dre Greenlaw getting hurt.
Dre,
Yo,
oh
that
my-
was so
Dre
funny.
Greenlaw. Did
That was
anybody
one of
see
the
it?
worst injuries I have ever seen a player sustain in my years of watching football.
He
This
was
dude
going-
is just hyped up. He's ready to get on the field, takes one step, and then falls like he's a science class skeleton.
Snapped his Achilles.
Like,
That's
Pop.
wild.
Also, it felt like Nick Bosa was always kind of one step behind to getting to.
He did look
To Mahomes,
he did
yeah.
look slow.
Especially
Nick
near the
Bosa,
end.
though, I think the end killed his game. I think really he had a good game. He was getting pressure.
He was getting pressure. It just
Right.
felt like he was always one step behind to getting to Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right. But
It
I
just
think
seems
what
like they
killed
were,
his
like,
whole
worn
game.
down.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have Nick Bosa, I think you want to use him as much as you can. I bet there's probably some injury he's hiding. You know, knowing Nick Bosa and how
think
much
so?
he's been injured, I wouldn't be shocked if he has like a bruised knee or something along the line where he pulled something maybe during the game. I mean, honestly, it's shocking that the San Francisco 49ers had. You know how they had, like, a couple years ago, the whole year where they had an injury every single game almost, like a key important game.
Yep.
This year, it was just shrunk into the Super Bowl. It was like a whole year's worth of injuries.
Yeah, when
Just
Debo
in
went
the
down,
Super Bowl.
I screamed out an expletive.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
Debo, Kittle, I thought Juszczyk was hurt for a minute when he went down and he got into that
He wasn't
position.
even playing, Halaga.
Right, and then you had Greenlaw, and then you had the safeties, and then it was just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it really does. It's not great to watch your team just crumble.
Implode like
And
that.
I think a lot of it is having 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. A lot of people will go and say, "Oh, they got 2 weeks of rest. They can get healthy. They can get healthy." That's 2 weeks of you not playing a very high contact, very endurance building sport that you are in shape the entire NFL season if you can play the whole season with no injuries because you play weekly. You have that one bye week for sure. Yeah, right. But you play weekly, you play consistently, you practice weekly. They had one whole week where they weren't practicing. And then they jump right back into practice. Tyler Wanufunga gets injured in practice. Your other backup safety gets injured in practice. So now you're forced into the Super Bowl with a backup safety and your third stringer having to come in off the bench to play nickel corner every now and again. It's a lot. It's one huge game 2 weeks after you stop playing any other huge game. I think it's very impactful to the players, and it does cause a lot of injuries. We do see a lot of injuries in the Super Bowl. It's one of the most high injury risk games in the NFL if you look at it statistically. And, I mean, they're not going to change it, but it is terrible.
Why wouldn't
to
they
see.
change it? That's a real question. Why wouldn't they change it? From a business perspective, what's the thing in between the Super Bowl? What is the 1 week?
Pro Bowl.
The
Pro Bowl games, right?
Yeah.
Who gives another crap about them, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about them anymore.
Especially nowadays.
Exactly. They made a full-fledged football game into flag football and, let's play with each other.
Another
Let's
thing
play
too,
games.
like the voting process of it all just seems more like a heightened popularity contest voting for your student body president in
That's
high
all
school.
it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
And it's not even that, too. At this point, it's like, why wouldn't you just put that after the season? Why wouldn't you make it something where
Because players aren't going to do it.
I think you do it after the season. You do it a
Players-
couple of weeks because then you get something, there's always that little gap between, now and free agency.
Players aren't going to do it.
They
Players-
probably would.
Players opt out of the Pro Bowl all the time. Josh Allen has been a Pro Bowler.
Oh, I'm not saying
Josh
that.
Allen's been
King.
selected to the Pro Bowl
Well,
3 times, hasn't gone once.
I'm not
King.
saying I'm not saying that it wouldn't stop people from opting out. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that whether you played it in between the divisional round or the championship round and the Super Bowl makes no sense to me, where it's a thing nobody cares about. It's just a money grab. Why not put the Super Bowl, move it up a week, so then you don't have that week rest that could get players more hurt. It's still about the same way. It's they're still game ready instead of just making them wait for a week.
Yeah,
No, I
mean,
get it. I see your point. I just, in terms of like the Pro Bowl, that it's not good. That the Pro Bowl would die.
That's okay at this point, honestly.
At this
At
that's
this
what I'm
point,
saying. Don't
probably
even just-
NFL should just give it up
Just-
and let it die.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl hasn't meant.
Pro Bowls haven't meant nothing in years.
I don't think the Pro Bowl's meant anything since when. Oh my goodness, who was it? The Browns running back who got the Madden cover.
Peyton Hillis.
Oh
Peyton Hillis.
my God.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love Peyton Hillis?
I
Peyton
think I think he killed the Pro Bowl.
Honestly, Sean Taylor almost reignited it with that hair. on
Oh
Brian
my
Moore.
God.
Oh my God!
Yes.
But
It always comes up on my Twitter feed
It's-
every year.
Every
I
time
know.
the Pro Bowl comes up, that's the clip.
that is the clip. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah,
that,
like
that
I
or,
want to see.
that or Peyton Manning calling out Mike Vanderjagt on live TV.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean,
Beef.
the Pro Bowl sometimes is like it's a solid like emotional grab too. I mean, like when Jeff Saturday and Peyton Manning shared that last snap
Right.
at the Pro
snap
Bowl.
Yeah.
of their career.
Like things like that, they mean something. But the Pro Bowl is a general thing. I mean, unless you're like you pay to go to the Pro Bowl, you pay like to sit in the stands with the other 42 people that are there. I don't think it really matters to anybody. I'll be honest.
Also,
No
I-
one's
I-
going out
it
of their
sh-
way to
I
watch
think
the Pro
it should
Bowl.
start dying soon because when Dan Orlovsky beats 5 quarterbacks in an accuracy challenge,
That is true.
Which is so true.
Including Tua.
including and Jalen Hurts.
That too. But
Yeah,
mainly
no.
Tua.
And
'cause
Baker
go Bills.
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield did win precision pass.
Baker Mayfield won it for the NFC.
He did win it, but he still lost to Dan Orlovsky, to
Dan
your
Orlovsky's
point.
a goated quarterback. What are we
It is
talking
funny how many people did come out after that and say, Dan Orlovsky could still play.
about? No.
Huh?
You know
What?
what else?
Yeah, he can play arena football.
Here, I'll tell you
your
another
mouth about it.
garbage thing about the
Kurt Warner's the greatest quarterback to ever come out.
garbage thing about the Pro Bowl. I mean, along with everything about the Pro Bowl is like anybody can make it. You like even the backups for the Pro Bowl. When Tyler Huntley went to the Pro Bowl
Remember
last
when
year,
Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler?
brother, that guy played 4 games and threw 8 interceptions.
Gardner Minshew, baby.
Oh my God.
Minshew deserves it.
Yeah, Minshew
deserves
deserved it.
the world.
Minshew deserved it. Minshew did his magic. Minshew mania, love that guy. Duval.
Love him.
Duval.
I'm
on
still
your beat.
waiting for my fantasy. Whenever they do that promotion again, where
Oh, the beer if you draft
yeah, the
him first
beer is if
round.
you pick Gardner Minshew in the first round.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
doing
for
it.
1 year and 1 year
you
only.
get a case of beer for free.
Yeah, you get a case of beer for free.
Oh my goodness, I'm doing it.
That's
They
why-
don't have the promotion anymore, Justin.
Nah, they're gonna give it to somebody else. They're gonna be whoever takes.
They're waiting.
Whoever takes Jake Browning in the first round
Browning.
I do it.
gets one 12-ounce Michelob Ultra.
I
I'd
do
be
it.
all like, sign me up.
I'm doing it.
Wasting my first round pick in fantasy.
Wasting
Love
it. Jake Browning proved to be an absolute all-star.
And maybe his wife. Anyway, Moving on. We can.
I don't, like,
Hello.
yeah, where do we even?
we can talk
the
about.
Super Bowl.
I
Like,
mean, the Super Bowl.
the season's over now.
The season's
Yeah, it
over.
is. It's-
Like
Season's
it's
done.
done.
207 days until the regular
Yeah,
season
I know.
starts
No,
again.
no, hang on. The off season is the best part.
Combine, drafts, off season, but I'm talking about watching football on
That's
my
what I was
television
saying,
screen.
200
Well, you got the
7 days.
new XFL USFL merger.
I'm not watching it out of protest.
There's still football on,
The
Frank.
Rock.
The Rock. You think I'm gonna watch anything that relates to The Rock anymore? They pulled out a bottle of Terramana last night, and I said, "Get it away from me. I don't want anything with that bald man near me."
So are we watching? What is the XFL merger thing? What is it?
It's called the UFL now, right?
So is that the football we're watching now?
No,
Yeah.
you guys can watch it. You guys can support it. I'm not.
You know what I'm going to be watching?
I'm watching Florida Panthers hockey, and I'm watching the Rays continue to dominate.
I'm watching the
regular
Yanks.
season.
You know what I'm watching? The Road to WrestleMania.
Did you see the trailer they put out? That beautiful cinematic.
I did.
Oh my god! You guys don't understand. It was Cody and Roman, and then Rock and Rollins. You guys don't understand.
Gorgeous.
I was gonna say, y'all, next month is March Madness. That's
Oh
gonna be
shoot!
To
Yeah.
hell.
And in 11 days, it's the NHL trade deadline.
Then we
That's
got Champions League up until
Champions
May.
League.
We got the Euro this summer. We got
the Olympics.
Euros are this summer.
yes, sir.
Olympics are next summer,
Viva
right?
Italia!
We've got everything that's not football. Awesome. Great.
That is football.
Oh.
Oh, I get.
No,
Yippee!
that's football.
But
Foot.
baseball. You know what I don't care about? Even after the deadline.
More of my
Basketball.
games.
No, bro. I love basketball.
I don't
I'm
care
about to.
about it
I'm
right
about to be
now.
a very passionate basketball fan for the rest of the season.
Even with the Magic winning, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just don't.
I mean, you guys know when football time usually ends, that means I make more games.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm in for a world of
trivia.
Oh, buddy, you haven't gone through anything.
Can we do another Jeopardy since I wasn't here for the 24 hours?
No.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
I think.
No, I can
we
make another one.
I
I
think
was
we can make another
dominating
one.
over the phone and I couldn't even be heard.
Wait, I
Dominating
do
is
have a
crazy.
question that I want everyone to answer because this like sparked my curiosity yesterday. So Evan's not here right now, but he did say in our group chat yesterday that the Super Bowl last night was on par with the Rams and Patriots. Super Bowl being like super boring. What is the most boring Super Bowl you guys have ever watched?
Rams Patriots.
Wrong.
Or last night.
Ooh.
Wrong.
Justin.
Super Bowl. Gosh, which one was it? I think it's 40.
Oh, Broncos Seahawks.
I think it's 4. Yeah. Gosh, which one was that? Yes, Broncos Seahawks. Is that
It's
40?
48.
Is it 48?
If it's 50s, then oh.
I thought 48 was Patriots Seahawks. Am I crazy? Or no, that's 49. No, you're
no,
right.
because it happened.
48.
The Seahawks were going to go for 2-peat.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
it's
And then
48.
the Broncos
You're
went
right.
back 2 years
Yeah,
later to win.
that Super Bowl is terrible.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember the game. I remember some of the commercials, but like, I have no.
Chris, what about you?
Super Bowl 55 was the worst.
That's actually one of the better ones, if you ask me.
I appreciate it. It really was because it was like the first time we ever see Mahomes dominated like that, and Brady continues to prove that he's the GOAT.
No way.
Dan, what about you?
I'm looking at the list. Sorry. I'm gonna go Super Bowl 50.
Really?
Yeah.
The worst?
What?
In my opinion, it was very boring.
Listen,
Oh,
I
the
had...
the Broncos Panthers. one?
Broncos Panthers.
Yeah,
listen,
it.
listen.
it's
during,
not great.
It's
during-
not great.
During Super Bowl 50, when I was in middle school, Peyton Manning's like my favorite player of all time. So I had my Denver Broncos phase when Peyton was on the Broncos.
Dweeb.
Yes. I was also in middle school and I didn't know about football that much,
I
but I
bet
was like, oh my
you-
God, Peyton Manning.
I bet you loved the Seahawks when they won.
No, my sister did though. Anyway,
Russell Wilson.
Mr. Unlimited. Anyway,
Broncos country.
Watch out.
Let's
It's
ride.
spicy.
Anyway, but I did like that was one of the first Super Bowls that I was like super excited to watch, and I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun because yay, the Broncos were winning, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Peyton went out on top, retired, went out on top. It was great.
I'll tell you the best Super Bowl of all time. Hands down, no contest.
46.
If that's the one I'm thinking of, sure. I don't really know the numbers. Steelers Cardinals.
That I was
Oh.
going Giants Patriots, but also that one.
Steelers Cardinals is a banger bowl.
The last minute of that is
Oh my
one of the
god,
greatest minutes of
it's
football.
pure cinema. That entire Cardinals playoff run is probably the best playoff run in NFL history. Larry Fitzgerald,
Greatest show on turf?
ladies. Larry Fitzgerald is the greatest playoff wide receiver of all time. He had one playoff run, and in that playoff run, he was God.
Did he ever officially retire from the league?
No.
Interesting.
He just kind of stopped.
I'm signing him. That is awesome, by the way. That was going to be my guess, too.
What's yours? Oh.
Best
wait, are you on
one
Immaculate
that
Grid?
I've watched.
Oh, Immaculate Grid? I'm not doing
Yeah, the
Immaculate
top
Grid.
right, I got 0.9%
That was gonna be
for the
my
player
guess,
I
too.
picked.
Now I got to think of somebody else.
Well, my uncle's a Giants fan, so that's why I remembered.
Hey, listen, don't you get me started on the legend that is Jeremy Shockey, all right? That guy was a human bowling ball. Miley Cyrus is singing about wrecking balls. Jeremy Shockey was one.
So you're saying Miley Cyrus was singing about Jeremy Shockey?
You're damn right.
Period.
And now we're doing the other football.
The other football?
The other football.
Oh, he's doing the other football.
You know
Yeah,
what?
this
Do
guy.
you guys talk real quick? I'm gonna go get myself a Schweppes. My head's pounding. And
Oh,
I need-
yeah,
I need
brother,
my
I'm
mouth.
talking.
We can't talk at all. Everybody stay quiet.
I'm dying right now.
Not a chance.
Easy, already done with that top row.
Emma, just press buttons.
No
What's
way.
up?
Just press buttons.
No way.
Wait, I don't know how to do it. I don't trust myself.
Don't press
It's
it.
okay. Press buttons.
Just don't do it.
Dan, I'm not going to do it. I don't trust
Do
myself.
it. Come
No
on.
way.
I don't trust myself.
Boo.
I'm
Nope,
sorry.
nope.
Yeah, boo me, boo hoo. I do want to hear when Frank comes back what the three of us were talking about, Dan and Chris, about, Justin was there too, about, because it has been tradition for, I don't know, maybe, I think the last 5 years, I think that the regular season opener is always hosted by the Super Bowl champions.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
It was, if I can remember correctly, Texans at Chiefs after their first win. And then it went Dallas and Tampa. And then us, the Bills and the Rams.
Right.
And then Lions and Chiefs.
Right.
So I'm going to pull up real quick the home team opponents for the Chiefs. Because I just want to hear your guys' opinion about who's going to play against the Chiefs in the very first game of the year. Because that'll be very intriguing. Hello,
Welcome back,
Frank.
Frank. Emma
Frankie.
touched buttons.
No, I
You
did
gotta
not.
fix it.
No, I
Broke,
did
broke,
not.
broke.
I did not.
She touched buttons.
Dan, shut up.
No.
You just sent nukes around the world.
That's
Frankie,
So
she
classic.
touched some buttons. I won't tell you which ones. You gotta figure out which ones are pressed.
It was none.
you gotta do the.
I like how he
debugging.
actually went to press a button too. I was like, wow, I'm that convincing?
Unbelievable.
Don't mess with my head right now.
I
please.
get to mess with
Okay, so I think we already know Frank's answer, but I'm still going to read the teams that the Chiefs are going to be hosting for 2024, and you're going to guess. We're going to predict who is going to play against the Chiefs opening night for the regular season for 2024. Here we go. Team number 1, Baltimore Ravens. Team number 2, Cincinnati Bengals. 3, 4, 5 is the AFC West teams: Denver Broncos, Vegas Raiders, LA Chargers. Next, Houston Texans. Then it's the New Orleans Saints. And last but certainly not least, aka Frank's answer, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to skip Frank because I already know his answer is going to be the Buccaneers. Dan, what say you?
I'm the host. Hey, I'm the producer of this show.
I was just curious.
She is taking over. I'm sorry.
No,
you have
we
no
just had
say.
this
in
You want
this.
to host
conversation
the
and
last
really-
hour? You sure can.
No, I just said, I just had this conversation and I'm like, I want to hear everyone else's opinion.
You're hosting the last hour.
Well, I don't know how to host.
Anyway,
That's something Frank will teach you.
Oh my
There you
gosh.
go. In all honesty, I think it's going to be the Chargers. I think it's too good of a story with Jim Harbaugh and him returning to the NFL and to face Andy Reid. You know, that's I think as big as a coaching matchup you can get in week 1. Then you still have Mahomes and Herbert. So it's not like it's going to be a dull quarterback battle, at least. At least you hope.
yeah.
And then there's the chance that the Chargers are going to get some key signings. Who knows who the Chiefs might bring in? Because the Chargers are already looking at Saquon Barkley and
yeah, I forgot about
hey,
that.
how are you?
That's awesome.
And who knows if Eckler stays, or does he go somewhere else?
Harbaugh
But
has come out publicly and said that they will pretty much do everything they can to keep him.
I've seen both ways.
Yeah.
Harbaugh is a wildfire guy. Like, I remember his time with the 49ers, and he was wild.
Yeah, but Eckler is like a top 3 running back in the league. Like
he is if he's used correctly and stays healthy. Yeah,
And doesn't play like garbage.
right. Yeah, that's a piece of the puzzle too. But I just think in the sense of big names and what you can market the most.
Oh, no.
It is an AFC West battle. First game of the year, Herbert versus Mahomes, and then Andy versus Jim.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say it's the Bengals, just because of the return of Joe Burrow. But I don't think it's going to be the Bengals so much as I think it's not going to be the Chargers, because this season the Chargers do in fact play the Baltimore Ravens. That'd be a week 1 matchup for history, baby. The Harbaugh Bowl again, 2.0.
2.0. I think they keep
is
it
crazy.
in the NFC like they did for this past season, where they started off against the Lions. I think they keep it in the NFC versus AFC to start it off.
Because it's the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Exactly.
No, it just so happens that they're on there, and then they're
Oh,
the team
yeah, it just so
representing-
happens that they're in the
so
NFC and they're on the list.
Are they
and-
the only NFC team on the list? I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't
Now,
hear.
let's see Derek Carr go back to Kansas City.
No,
Oh,
New
yeah.
Orleans
New
Saints is the
Saints.
other one.
Michael Thomas,
Oh, yeah.
Chris Olave.
That sounds like money.
Chris, do yours and then I'll say mine.
I don't really know. I mean, I guess I'm gonna just stick with Baltimore because they're probably looking at that rematch from the playoffs.
Okay.
I know they want to see Mahomes versus like Jackson all the time. Do the Ravens play the Bills next?
Ravens do not
They
play
don't?
the
No, they
Bills.
do not.
Okay,
I'm gonna say
that would be a good week 1 matchup, but I'm gonna
They
just stick
don't.
with the Ravens.
I'm going to disagree with all of you, and I'm gonna choose. We're gonna bring it back to the 2021 season opener or 2020, whatever it was, between the Chiefs and the Houston Texans, because I believe.
You know what? I like that game.
Okay, this is why. Because if they're gonna go with the same logic that they did last year with choosing the Detroit Lions to go against the Chiefs, the Detroit Lions were like the hottest, like, anticipated team of being like, ooh, like, they did really well. Let's see them get better. You know what I mean? And that worked to their advantage. The Lions ended up being in the NFC Championship, which is still very wild to me. Good for them. That's probably going to be the same thing with the Houston Texans. Like, they started off super, super hot this year, which nobody thought was going to happen. Like, CJ Stroud is just probably one of the best rookie quarterbacks we have seen in our generation. D'Amico Ryans was a really great head coach. They have a really good supporting cast. And I don't know. I feel like it's one of those, like, old versus young type of deal. Like, kind of same thing with the Detroit Lions. So that's why my answer is the Houston Texans.
I think the only problem with that is that there's nobody like Dan Campbell, and I don't see any other coach getting hyped up like Dan Campbell. I don't see anybody getting he's going to bite your freaking kneecaps off level of excitement right now. Now, I'm not saying D'Amico Ryans in the future could be one of those, like, very hyped up coaches, but I'm saying as of right now, I've seen more things about Jim Harbaugh that have been, like, way more like, hey, he's back in the NFL. We need to see this guy back in the NFL. Oh! Like, I mean, quite literally, I think I've seen just too many things about Jim Harbaugh in the past month, and they are probably going to harp on it for the next, probably this whole offseason.
Yeah,
True, but I really do like that idea that Justin brought up about Harbaugh versus Harbaugh again.
that would be very nice.
That would be
That's
so cool.
true. I
So
do
cool.
I think that's a possibility. I just don't know if they're going to want that as a really big, like, Saturday night game or something.
I think it could be Sunday Night Football. I think it could be the first.
I mean, it can be some, like, special, like, type. I'm thinking like a Peacock game, or
I could see it being
like,
the first Sunday Night Football or the first Monday Night Football.
I can see that.
I'm
Too,
gonna
yeah.
piggyback my answer to Emma's because I really like the Texans versus Chiefs.
Wow, you're not going Tampa? You're not going with Baker? Wow,
See,
do you not have
like-
trust in your Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I love Baker.
Like, Dan, I totally agree with
Let
what
that
you
guy
mean in
cook.
terms of a coaching competition perspective, but I'm looking at it from, like, a player competition perspective, you know? Like, it's like you see, like, you think of all of the elite quarterbacks in the AFC and you just think, you know, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and where's Frank going?
Lock the door, 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 lock
Please
the door,
hold.
lock the door.
I think he's coming for me.
All right, hey,
You're gonna kill me?
this is why in the intro.
Yeah, try to get in, buddy.
This is why in the intro song we have Frank saying
He's going
and
to
I
punch a
quote,
kid.
He's going to punch a kid if they say something stupid about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Anyway.
There is a reason.
He got locked out. Yeah.
Times 2 is crazy.
Ha ha, Frank.
Yes, after our show on Friday, Frank got locked in our in the bathroom, and
Yep.
Justin and Dan were like holding that down. It was so funny.
It was a great time.
Emma, you can sit in the host chair now. You don't have to press buttons. Please, I just want to see his reaction too.
Okay, hang on. Give
No.
commentator.
Oh my goodness, keep
I
commentating.
mean,
how you doing?
good. How about you?
I'm good.
I mean, in all honesty, he's bringing out a mousetrap.
A mousetrap is crazy.
I do not know what's happening.
On some Tom and Jerry type stuff.
I mean, are you sure you want to open that door? Did he throw the mousetrap in?
What's good, Mickey?
Frank, where did you find a mousetrap?
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. Okay.
What's good, Mickey Mouse?
I'm doing my
Mickey Mouse.
I'm doing my wrestling
Uh-huh.
immaculate grid.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a wrestling immaculate grid? No, there's not.
There is crossover grid. I'm doing number I think 25.
Brother,
Okay,
no, there's
Lord.
not. Hang on, wait.
And I'm doing it because it also involves my TNA knowledge.
There just can't be. This can't be a thing that I'm just figuring out.
Now, did you guys see the reports that some San Francisco 49ers players did not know the new overtime
saw
rule?
That's
that.
wild to me. I highly doubt it.
Isn't
How do
bro,
you not go over that in a
The
team
second
meeting?
they
Yeah.
elected to receive, I was like, oh, they're dumb. They're
Like-
dumb.
I was like,
That game
Okay.
between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes 2021 divisional round was probably like the biggest game like ever in this decade. Like it was so crazy.
and we lose.
Okay.
Classic.
Sad.
Yes, unfortunately we did, but it literally brought out a new rule for the league. Like that's not normal. So I'm over here like, how do you not know? Like that was all over my internet feed when they like changed that rule.
It's funny too because it's like I heard the Chiefs players saying, "Hey, we've been talking about this as a possibility. We gotta think it's a possibility." Did San Francisco get just so cocky that they were like, "Oh, we're gonna win in regulation. We don't need to think about overtime," and then they're just like, "Oh, what's overtime?"
That brother Kyle Shanahan couldn't win an overtime game if I paid him to do it.
In all honesty, I love the idea that some people are thinking, like some people are still going at Shanahan for screwing up. And I'm like, how can you say he screwed up this season? Like, yeah,
No,
the
he didn't.
last key decision that he probably made was that coin flip on who gets the ball first and who doesn't.
Yeah.
But
It's,
everybody thought they were going to do way worse than making the Super Bowl.
well, facts, but I mean, I don't know. It's there. It comes to a point, right? Like, yes, your defense didn't stop. Your defense stopped the Chiefs. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan does not call the defense for the 49ers. He is not a defensive head coach. He is an offensive head coach. He is the offensive mind and the offensive play caller for the 49ers. So you look at it from an offensive perspective. This was the first time in the postseason, and frankly, in the last 2 months, that we've seen the 49ers offense stifled other than the Baltimore Ravens game. And you know what I think Andy Reid went in and studied before the Super Bowl? He looked. He paid close attention to that Baltimore game. If you look at what the Kansas City Chiefs were doing on defense against the Niners, copy and paste. Did the same exact thing. Of course, he doesn't have the players that the Baltimore Ravens defense does, so they did let up a few more points. But if you do a side-by-side with that game and the Ravens game, the defense for the Chiefs and the Ravens, spitting images of each other. Andy Reid just outcoach Kyle Shanahan because Kyle Shanahan has a game plan for offense, and when it doesn't work, he's proven time and time again that plan B, plan C, plan D just don't exist to him. And that's why he's lost 3 Super Bowls now.
Andy Reid is just, oh God, as much as I don't like it because he plays for the Chiefs, coaches for the Chiefs, I just am so in awe by Andy Reid and just his coaching methods. He's just, yeah.
You know what really boils my oil is the fact that this man
Beat the Eagles?
coached. He coached Philly for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Only got to the Super Bowl once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Once.
Mm-hmm.
And he had players like McNabb, T.O., Avant, Dawkins, Trent Cole. And you couldn't do anything? And now he's over here winning Super Bowls like it's candy. I don't get it.
It's wild.
I really don't get it.
It really is wild.
It's a different ballgame, bro.
And honestly, too, can we talk about this? Without Andy Reid, we wouldn't have gotten Sean McDermott and changed the Bills franchise around. So, thank you, Andy Reid.
Should still follow
Do I
him.
think Andy or do I think Ron Rivera?
I was about to say, I think you gotta thank Riverboat Ron for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Riverboat Ron in the sense of him with a head coaching hire, but if it wasn't for Andy Reid, McDermott wouldn't have become a defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. So you got to go
That's
back to
true.
the roots.
I was ready for Riverboat Ron to become our defensive coordinator this year. I was waiting for it. I was
loved
waiting
that
for
Bobby
Sean.
Babbage option. I loved it.
Yeah, I feel bad for Riverboat Ron, man. Guy just needs to go back to coordinating, or
Do you
just
think he's
needs
going to
to-
get the D coordinator job in Dallas?
No, supposedly
No.
it's not even Zimmer right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
wait, I lied. Yeah, I did see that it was Zimmer. Which is,
No,
it's not Zimmer.
No,
It's not
it's come
Zimmer?
out that Rex Ryan was right when he said the deal's not done.
Yeah, deal's
They
not done
actually
between-
have called back Rex Ryan. The Cowboys have reached out to him again.
that's so messy.
The deal is not done yet.
That is so messy. Jerry Jones is a messy man.
Yeah, no,
He
that
is
guy's
a very
multiple
messy
things.
He is a
man.
messy man.
That guy's a
Depending on
lemon.
which way
That
you
goes
look
for
at it.
many things.
Which way you look at it, he is very, very messy.
Jerry Jones is. I'm not going to get into Jerry Jones because I don't like him, but
I don't
he's just.
I don't like it.
I just
Everybody hates him.
He's
You know what I think
just-
we should get into before you guys leave?
What?
Let's take a look at the standings for the NHL right now.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Gross.
Oh, where's Dan going?
Oh,
He's
here he
leaving. He
comes.
doesn't want to talk about
Oh,
NHL.
no.
Weird.
I hope he doesn't, come in through that door.
He's locking it.
Georgia, the jungle, friends of you and me.
My guy's so lucky
We'll
that
start-
I told him. You're welcome, Frank.
We'll start with the Central Division in the West. In last currently are the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they suck.
Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard out, little Bedsy, little Mishy all the time, but
Mhm.
I mean, are we not surprised?
Garbage.
Bedard was the only thing good thing they had. Lose him, still don't deserve him for
Mm-hmm.
the awful things that
Can he redo his rookie year? Is that possible?
on a
No.
different team. I would love that.
He's
Literally-
coming to the Sabres.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's washed in like 6-7 years.
No way.
No, that's Patrick Kane. Sorry, what?
Patrick Kane's
sorry.
not washed.
Sorry, wrong name.
wait. Great.
I'm sorry.
Patrick Kane is washed? He is.
3 players right now that are better than Patrick Kane on the Sabres.
Washed like my fresh
Rasmus
smelling water.
Dahlin, Tage Thompson.
Ah, Thompson is not better than Patrick Kane right now.
Whoa.
I will say.
Tage is not better right now.
Oh,
Okay, you're saying
right
now. I thought you
now.
just meant overall.
Okay.
Overall, guys, overall,
Okay,
no one on the
okay.
Sabres touches
Wait,
Patrick
wait.
Kane.
No, Dahlin.
Okay.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
No, not recently.
Pekka Luukkonen.
Recently, no way.
Recently, no way?
Yeah.
This man has played 10 out of the last 12 games. You are not telling me with a .910 save percentage, and this team can only go 6-5 with that. So no, he's been doing pretty dang
All right, fine.
good.
All right, fine. Dahlin and Yupi.
Okay, and then J.J. Paterka, or I can go Middlestat, or
I was gonna go Middlestat.
I can go either or there. Honestly, if you want to take out Oopie for J.J. Paterka, that's fine with me. But the most interesting thing I've heard about hockey, because this is probably my last statement, there is a chance, please God, let there be a chance, that Kyle Opozo and Zemgus Girgensson can be shipped off to Boston.
They're gonna be traded.
For the love of God, that all is mighty, I will drive them there myself. I will get them Dunkin'. I will show up right to the door and say, hey, give me future considerations. Great, bye. Give me a bag of pucks. Please. I am making the same point I made when I said trade Casey Middlestat last year. I could get for those two guys right there a bag of pucks, and they would do better on the ice than those two freaking bums.
Double D Dandale, ladies and gentlemen.
At least you guys aren't the Canadians. Their differential was net minus 42.
I got class at 3.
Oh, yes.
We have class, so that's why.
Indeed.
So Chris and Dan are leaving. Bye, guys.
Justin's also leaving.
Oh, Justin's leaving too?
They all
No
leave.
one cares. No.
Oh,
But
No, they all leave.
but
goodbye, boys.
there's one last thing I want to say in case you were curious, in case you were like my friends and you bet on the color of the Gatorade. Ladies and gentlemen, it was indeed purple. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Let's go.
It was purple. We're gonna take a quick break here.
Duval out, baby.
I'm assuming Justin won like a lot of money by betting on the color of the Gatorade.
I
So
lost a lot of money.
oh no, my friend bet on the over under for Reba McEntire for the national anthem.
It went over, right?
No, apparently it went under
I
based
thought it
on
was
what
a minute
he
30.
said. Yeah, I thought it was a minute 32. But I guess the way that he did it, like they cut off after the first Brave, but she sang Brave twice.
Yeah.
But I guess like wherever he was betting, it cut off on the first Brave, and it was 88 seconds instead of 90.
What?
It was wild. I would have went the under anyway because country singers are not the kind that go like, yeah, like
Exuberant.
exactly.
But oh my god, I would cry.
Oh
my
gosh.
friend won like $250 for the coin toss.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't
See,
do
that's
that.
so sad because
I don't like it.
I'm a tails girl. What do you always choose, heads or tails?
Heads.
I always choose tails.
I'm a genius, so why would I ever say tails? Because tails never fails? No. Heads is obviously the correct
Actually,
choice.
the reason why I always choose tails, and Dan is grittying out of the studio.
I'm gonna smack him. I'll end you.
Bye, guys.
Love the boys.
I love the boys too. Y'all are fun. I mean, I know I met like the majority of you the other day, but y'all seem no, I'm being serious. I literally met the majority of you the other day, but y'all are super fun.
We try.
And I appreciate you giving me this offer to be on the show with you guys.
Fucking. Yeah. You know, it's great to have you here.
Oh.
Don't worry about what just happened.
Yeah, what did just happen?
I dumped it.
Ah, okay. Whatever that means. I'm a PR major, not a media production major.
You know, so we're good.
Okay. Cool.
We're gonna go to break real quick.
Yes, we are. I need to get a water.
Yeah. You listen to Blitz on 91.3 WBNY. Just keep listening after these short few messages.
Yes, so Frank is having me test out the hosting table.
That's right.
Once again, you're listening to The Blitz on WBNY 91.3 FM. My name is Emma Nosby. This is my second episode. Next to me is Frank the Tank Lopez.
We gotta find you a nickname. We could do it today. We could do it Friday.
A nickname? Oh my goodness.
Well,
Okay.
Justin's Duval. Chris is Mr. Brotherly Love.
Yes.
Dan is Double D.
Mm-hmm.
When Joe was here, I called him the Buffalonian.
Okay.
Evan was just basically God.
What made him God?
Just Evan. Of course he is.
Okay.
And then I'm second. No, I'm better than Barstool Frank the Tank. Because I can, you know, I'm not going to get mean.
Well, I don't really have any actual, like, nicknames. I think, like, I mean, my friends, like, would call me, well, my name is Emma. Not Emily. Okay, that's a pet peeve of mine if people think my full name is Emily.
People confuse the... Emily's not a nickname for Emma.
Yes, that has happened. No, like, they think my full name is Emily
Oh.
and that Emma is a nickname. And
Dumb.
that's, like, a big pet peeve of mine. Yeah, but some people would just, like, you know, call me M.
That's cool, but we need like a brand.
I know, we do need a brand. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as time comes.
But since you're host, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Bring up any topics you want. Listen, it's your hour now.
Oh my gosh,
This is all
so
you.
scary.
I'm just here for support.
Whoever's listening, pray for me. Honestly, we've talked enough about football, and I know football is like my thing.
I agree, though. Now that the season's over, we'll start picking up once, combine happens, draft, off-season trades, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I have my mock draft set and everything for the top 10 and everything. But
Already?
Well, okay, because my one project I have to do, it's like you have to create an Instagram account. And my whole thing is all like football themed, so I'm like, what stuff should I do?
Oh, you're gonna do like a trade tracker or just a draft tracker and just see what's going on?
I mean, it's just all content related to that. Like, I'm gonna delete the account anyway because I'd rather use my just use my personal account to do all this stuff. I'm trying to make my personal account more of like a personal and professional all at the same time.
That's
like,
fair.
I'm still trying to build myself up. Like, this is all still very new to me because I am a transfer student. This is my first semester here at Buff State, and I never really got involved in all of this. And I was waiting until I came to Buff State to do this. So I'm still figuring it out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I did mention that March Madness is next month.
Ooh.
And I'm a huge, as of late.
I haven't checked standings so far and see who's who.
As of late, I'm a huge college hoops girly. We're going to look this up real quick, the college basketball standings.
Oh, no.
Y'all know that I want to be, I want Penn State to get in again. Because, again, huge Penn State person.
Of course.
Olivia, if you're listening to this, I love you so much. At MSU, that's my little sister.
Shout out.
We are.
Shout out.
Shout out. Here we go. Through NCAA.com. UConn at number 1.
Oh, are these the rankings right now?
Currently, yes. Up through games of February 11th, 2024. So yes, this is up to date. UConn, the current reigning champions, with a 22-2 record. Number 2.
Oh my God.
Number 2 is Purdue with the exact same record. Number 3 is Houston with 21-3 record. So those are that's all the schools with a 20+ winning record, which that's not surprising considering just the college world, and you think of basketball and one of the first names that come up is UConn. So that makes all the sense.
Well, for me, it's women's basketball that they pop up in my head just because of that dom. For me, it's the team that's been
This is men's, by the way. This isn't women's. This is men's.
The team that's been completely shocking to me is UNC.
Oh, yeah. They're currently ranked number 7 right now.
Which seems high, but for UNC and the way that they've been playing this year, for them to be at 7 is insane. Because I feel like they're such a sluggish team this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. But their rival Duke is 2 spots down at number 9 with an 18-5 record. So they're really close with the record standings. But again, college basketball is wild because anything can happen. I mean, that's what March Madness is all about.
I love March Madness.
Oh, I got so excited. I think it started for me during quarantine because
really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my love for sports has grown during quarantine.
Well, you mentioned the McAfee during quarantine.
Yes, I got into the Pat McAfee show during quarantine because again, I was bored and I really wanted some stuff to listen to podcast wise and whatever, and I'm like, wait a second, I know this guy. He used to play for the Colts, and then I listened to it and I really, really enjoyed it. And shout out
the boys.
Shout out
Ty, Boston. Oh my God.
My friend and I still mention the whole when that 8-year-old got on the show and was like,
F you, Boston Connor.
Boston Connor.
Oh my God.
So funny.
Love that kid.
Oh, hey, Pat McAfee.
Want to say how you're an inspiration. And also, F Boston Connor.
That was so funny. As much as Connor gets on my nerves because he's a Patriots fan, he does have the countdown every day till NFL football, and I always retweet it.
I know. I want to do, because we were going to do a draft thing last year, but I couldn't make it. I want to do what they kind of do with that draft spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a live stream of us just going insane.
That'll
just
be
watching
fun.
the draft.
That will be fun. I would totally be down for that.
That's what the Sabres After Dark is supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just us.
I'm so excited for that. I think spring is a good time to do this because, again, I'm more of a football person, but I'm trying to get into all of the other sports. And
do you have a respect, obviously respect for hockey, but just do you what's your history with hockey?
My history with hockey, and the reason why I laugh, you'll find out later, but my dad used to work for a company that was a huge sponsor with the Sabres, and they had a suite. So for the longest time, in the 4th and 5th grade, we would always go to games and stuff like that. We would be in the suite. But then my freshman year of high school, I met this guy. And we started dating, and he played hockey. But here's the thing. It's like, I would watch him play, and it's like, I just never got into it. I know that sounds so weird. Like, I just never got into hockey when watching him. And of course, I was going to be like a supportive girlfriend and everything like that. But it was just like, I don't know. Something about it, it just was not clicking. But I do enjoy the Stanley Cup finals and like the playoffs and stuff like that. That's, I mean, any kind of playoff game is just always going to be fun.
But hockey, I think, is the best. Like, I grew up in Florida, as people on this show know. So, like, we had the Panthers and Lightning.
Yes.
But for us, it's baseball and football down there.
Okay.
Hockey's irrelevant.
Yeah, makes sense.
But, like, I always was like, if people ask me, I'm like, I guess the Panthers, because we would just drive past and I see the cool Cats logo, and I'm like, that's cool. That's sick. I like that. And then just, like, I would say within, like, the past 7 years, hockey's become my second favorite sport.
I can't wait for you to meet my friend Dylan at the game on Thursday.
I just got a brand new Kachuk shirt, too. So I don't know if I'm going to wear that. That's like one of
his favorite players on the team.
I don't know if I'm going to wear that or my, you should tell him I own it has no player on it, but I want to go back down and get a player on it. The last year's reverse retro, he'll know what I mean.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's a baby blue jersey.
For those of you who don't know, we're going to go to the Sabres game Thursday night against the Florida Panthers, mainly for this guy over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Tank. But also, like, we're going to recap it on the show on Friday. So if you're into hockey, we're going to mainly talk about hockey on Friday. So
yeah, we are. It depends on how the night goes.
Advertisement plays.
I may be.
But a few of my buddies are also going to be there too because this Dylan friend that I have, he had this marked on his calendar and he's like, we are going. And so I'm like, wait a second, I got invited to the same thing. Let's just combine everybody together. So the boys are going to meet some of my friends, and Armando from the radio station, Mr. Armando.
Is Armando going?
Yes, he is going.
Okay.
He is going. So yeah, we're just going to have a best of both worlds action going on. So again, Friday, 2 to 4, we're going to be talking hockey, specifically that game, because we will be there.
You know, you're good at plugging things.
PR and advertising major over
you know
here,
what?
man. I got to do what I got to do.
I got it in my head, and I remember that now.
Let's get back to basketball.
Yeah.
We got on a little tangent here. Let's get back to basketball. So the top 5 go... Okay, so UConn, Purdue, Houston, those are the top 3. Marquette. Ooh, voice crack. Marquette, 18-5 record, the number 4. Number 5, then, is Arizona with the 19-5 record. Kansas also has a 19-5 record, but they are 6th because Arizona has more points with 1,241 versus 1,227.
They're also 2-4 on away games, which is
yes. That is also another big factor. Hang on. Unfortunately, Penn State is not in the top 25. I'm so sorry, everybody.
It's fine. UCF is 12th in the Big 12. So
true, but we did have. Oh my gosh, it's just we had Jalen Pickett last year and Andrew Funk, who are both on the Denver Nuggets.
Championship team.
They were rookies last year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, so they were part of it.
Yeah, they were a part of it. But that was fun to watch last year. Just with Jalen Pickett, like he is just an amazing basketball player, and I really hope he becomes a star in that league because he is something special.
Oh, in that organization.
And Andrew Funk with the 3-pointers, he was always clutch with the 3-pointers, man. Oh my God, it was beautiful to watch. Let's go through the rest of the top 10. So Kansas is 6. North Carolina, same record with 19-5. We talked a little bit about North Carolina just based on how sluggish they've been as of late. Hopefully they pick it up again.
No.
Why not?
I don't like dynasties. I don't like seeing teams that are good consistently win. I hate it.
Speaking of dynasties. No, I'm being serious. Speaking of dynasties, you go down 2. Tennessee is ranked number 8, and then you go Duke at number 9. And that's going to be an interesting one, especially because Coach K retired.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't think they were going to end up ranked.
Really?
I didn't think they were. I thought it was going to be a massive fall off for Duke after Coach K left.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
I think his system is just perfect in just the way he organizes the court. And I just didn't think, they were going to be able to find someone that could replace that and utilize his type of style the way that anyone else could.
You got a point. I understand that. I think it's like the whole, not to get back to football, but like this is the first thing that came into my mind. It's like Bill Belichick has been with the Patriots for 24 years now, like basically all my life. Because
all our lives.
All our lives.
Belichick has been there.
I was going to say, what year you were born?
02.
Okay, 01. So basically all of our whole lives.
Yeah.
So seeing Gerard Mayo and how he's going to be doing all of this, I mean, he is defensively minded. He did play linebacker, so that's going to be, like, similar in that sense because Belichick was also defensive minded. But it's like, I'm actually kind of excited to see.
Yeah, I want to see what system they put in place. I want to see how they play football this year.
Yes, I'm very excited, especially because they also just hired Dante Hightower.
I did see that to be part of defensive court. What is he?
Linebackers coach, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong, though.
But still, I have him on the staff.
Somewhere in the defensive staff, Dante Hightower is there. That's going to be really interesting. The trends of former players becoming head coaches is like...
It's kind of working.
You can say that in anywhere in sports. I mean, Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's already had like a bunch of NBA championships.
He was a dynasty. Unfortunately, not right now.
Unfortunately, no, but I still have a special place for Steve Kerr in my heart.
Oh my God,
I
love that Warriors team. I don't care what anyone says.
True. And then finally rounding out the top 10 for NCAA men's basketball is Iowa State with an 18-5 record. Same with Duke. I know it's so interesting just thinking about like so much a difference can make with each sport. Like you think of all these like basketball schools like UConn and stuff like that, like they are not talked about whatsoever with football. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just so different. It's so fascinating to me.
Also, Bama's ranked. They're becoming they've been in like the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
they're finally becoming a basketball school.
Yes, Bama is ranked number 15 right now with a 17-7 record. Not the greatest, not the baddest, just, you know, in the middle. But I think, honestly, that's good to be, like, in the middle, you know?
You know what? At number 24, representing the 561, my hometown, Florida Atlantic University, after having their Cinderella run last year, oh, my God.
Yeah, that Cinderella story was wild.
Yeah, I had cousins that went to FAU, so, like, of course I was going to...
Yeah.
I had to root for them.
That's cool.
But, like, I need them to go all the way this in. Either them or Miami. No, Miami's not even in this.
Oh, you are correct.
Miami's not ranked. Where's Miami?
Holy crap. I have no idea. I have a special place in my heart for Baylor basketball because they won me a lot of money.
They won me money. I bet on them too.
Yeah. They won the championship.
The entire March, I was just going, go Bears.
Yes.
I was just going, go Bears the entire time.
Yes, literally. So I have a special place in my heart because they won me money. So thank you, Baylor.
Oh, Miami's 15-9, and they are either 8th or 9th in the Atlantic. Oh, God.
I will tell you, though, well, St. Mary's is ranked. St. Mary's has kind of been like you know.
They'll get there.
They'll get there.
They're kind of, you know.
Who else we got? University of Dayton.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, all right, they're going out first round.
Yeah, but you know what? It's good. It's good for the recognition that they're getting. You know, Dayton is a bit of a...
They're on a 12-game win streak.
Really? That's crazy. See, I'm on NCAA.com. I don't know where you're at.
I'm just Google.
Oh, you're just Google. Okay, perfect. BYU, Wisconsin, Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana State. Not Indiana, though. Indiana State.
Just Indiana State.
No
Hoosiers. All right.
No Hoosiers. You know, Penn State did beat the Indiana Hoosiers in their home field. Home court.
It was a buzzer beater, right?
Yes. For the first time in 14 years.
I saw that. Pop up on ESPN.
We must be doing something right. Finally rounding out all of this, just below Florida Atlantic, with a 1-point record difference, 1-win record difference, Oklahoma.
Man, now you got me hyped for March Madness.
See?
I forget it's right around the corner.
Madness, exactly. Like the Super Bowl's ended. Like I've been on this like NFL thing ever since freaking August, July, even with OTAs and whatever. Like it's literally 6 months of my life is football, and then the other 6 months of my life is just yay sports. Sorry, football is like my thing, but I do really want to like get invested in all this stuff. But like March Madness is super fun. Even if you don't know a thing about basketball, like, I don't know, college sports always just, like, takes it up a notch,
This is the one that people are like, oh, I don't watch college, like, either they don't watch college basketball or they don't watch college sports at all. This is, like, the one thing that everyone is,
exactly.
March Madness.
It's just become such a marketable, like, thing.
Like, now I have to download the app.
Do it.
Like, I have to
now.
Just to have it ready.
Let's go.
And when you think of Elite 8, Sweet 16, when people hear that, when people say Sweet 16 now, the only thing that pops in my head is March Madness.
You don't
Not the
think about-
birthday
not
party
the birthday
thing
anymore. We already turned 16.
I think
Whatever.
of, it's getting close now.
What?
No, just like because the Final Four is probably the best round, and then I don't really watch the finals. I don't care.
Yes, the Final Four. They have like the whole Final Four like locations. Like
Oh, they
set
have it ready?
all the way up until 2030. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this. Final Four.
I feel like it's been San Antonio a lot recently.
San Antonio is next year. This year is gonna be in Phoenix.
See, they're always doing some desert thing.
Yeah, this is gonna be located at State Farm Stadium, and then San Antonio is next year, and then Indianapolis is gonna be the Final Four location twice. One in 2026, the next in 2029.
I like that.
They have Detroit, which I mean Detroit's fun. Never been, but would love to go there sometime. It's a good route through Canada and get in there. And then Vegas, obviously, because I feel like ever since they built Allegiant Stadium, it's kind of like, hey, here's a new venue to showcase Vegas.
Plus T-Mobile Arena, home of those stupid Golden Knights.
Oh, good God, I'm so
I
sorry.
hate Vegas.
No, it's so funny.
That's what made the Super Bowl worse.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
See, the Stanley Cup finals always happen like around my birthday in the beginning of June. So I rented a house for my birthday, for my 22nd birthday. And of course, like we're having the party like in the living room or whatever. And then Dylan is in the other room watching the Stanley Cup. And I'm going back and forth because I'm just like, I want to mingle with everybody, like all my friends, and just be like, hey, how y'all doing? And then I'm over here just like, yay, party. And then the next is like, sports, hockey. Like,
Listen, it was stressful.
yeah, it was wild. I'm not going to lie
It
to you.
was a very stressful time in my life.
It's just that defense just was not there. I'm so sorry. But it's true.
No, it's fair.
Yeah.
Then we traded Radko Gudas, but we're the third best team in hockey right now.
Yes, you are.
So I don't want to. We're fine.
Yes, you are. No, you are fine. Don't worry about it. It's still technically mid-season for y'all.
I know. And now we're having fights on Twitter because people want us to win the President's Trophy, which is the thing that you get if you win the Atlantic Conference.
Okay.
We won it 2 years ago before we went on the Stanley Cup final run.
Yeah.
We won it. Best team. Didn't make it out to pass the first round.
Nope.
Then we're just a wild card team the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Stanley Cup final. And we're just like, all right, so the curse is real. We're not doing it. So I'm cool with being second place and making a wild card. That's all. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just checking something.
I thought you were terrified over there.
No, I wasn't terrified. I was just looking over my shoulder. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I'm kind of upset. So they have the locations for the preliminary rounds.
Oh yeah, still
for March Madness. Sorry, I'm still talking about basketball.
No. I went off on a tangent. I forgot that.
You're good. Unfortunately, they are not coming to Buffalo. I wasn't there when they came to Buffalo, but I wish I did. Because that was before, like, that was probably, like, one of the first years that I was into March Madness, and I'm just like, it'll be fun to go, but, like, I'll just watch it on TV. I didn't realize how much of an experience it actually is. Like, that's just...
Those games are electric.
Yeah, they are fun. Yeah, so they are, like, all over the place. The closest one from Buffalo is in Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's not awful.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is like an easy drive, so I'm not concerned. The next closest one, though, is Dayton, and that's the first four. And I'm like, I don't want to do the first four, to be quite honest with you. So if anyone here in Buffalo wants to go to March Madness games in the first and second round, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, March 21st to the 23rd at PPG Paints Arena.
Go see a couple of yins while watching some basketball.
Heck yeah. I find it so sad that, because I'm looking, like, the West Regional is going to be at Crypto.com Arena, and I'm like, I still call it Staples Center.
Everyone calls it Staples.
It's like still calling it the Ralph.
Yeah.
You know?
We went last year to LA.
Really?
Yeah. And I was put in charge of driving, like, the first half of the trip. And we wanted to go to Staples Center.
Mm-hmm.
I typed in my phone Staples Center. I start freaking out because I'm just like, there's no Staples Center.
What?
And my brother looked at me, he's like, it's crypto. And I go, you're right. Because we were like 15 minutes away at the Airbnb we were staying, and I wanted to go downtown.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to go see all the statues.
Of course.
And I have to go back to go see the Kobe one.
Yes. Oh my God.
Now, especially when they unveil the next two.
Yes.
I gotta go back.
That's wild. Trying to think what else we got.
I haven't seen any breaking news from anything so far.
No,
it's been
super
such
quiet.
a slow day.
Oh, wait. Buffalo, New York is going to be hosting March Madness 2026 first, second round. They have that set already. I'm just like scrolling down. This is on NCAA.com. They have everything set for 2025 and 2026, and Buffalo will be hosting March 19th through the 21st, 2026, first and second rounds.
Oh
I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
It's gonna be KeyBank Center, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. Yay! Now I'm happy now.
I can't believe I have to go to a March Madness game and then have to go to a World Cup game.
Wait, where are you gonna go for the World Cup? Like,
Well, I'm looking at finals tickets. I'm looking.
in MetLife?
Yeah. I'm looking.
I keep seeing those jokes online that it's gonna become like an ACL like central over there.
They're changing it.
Well, yeah, the turf like for soccer has to be fresh grass.
Yeah.
Which why isn't it for the NFL? I don't know.
We talked about this a lot when who went down? I think Tre'Davious
Rodgers?
White, Aaron Rodgers, and then
Kirk, Daniel Jones,
and then it was two Buffalo
Kyler
Bill
Murray.
defensive players,
Oh,
not Milano when
Von
he got
Miller.
hit. And it was like, because we already knew that the World Cup was coming.
Yes.
So then I made the point. I was like, it has to change. The grass has to, we don't need turf. Because when it comes here, in 2 years, it has to be grass.
Yes.
So might as well start changing it now.
Please.
And now that they have to change it, it upsets me that the only reason that it's getting changed is for the World Cup. And not that for the player safeties.
Exactly. Like, I've gotten, super passionate about it. I think the first time that, I really started getting passionate about all of it was after Dak Prescott's injury in 2020. That's brutal.
Yeah.
It was just oh my God. This is disgusting. First of all, the injury, just showing the injury on national television several times is disgusting enough already because I get very,
They did the same thing with Nick Chubb. When his leg went 90 degrees the other way.
I'm not the best with, injuries like that. I get very queasy.
Oh, I'm good with it.
No. This is why I'm not going into the medical field because I'll get very queasy about
Someone was like, I was at work and they were like, oh yeah, Nick Chubb injury just happened. I was like, oh, let me go check Twitter.
Of course.
I see it happen. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, and ready for this? He was my first round pick for fantasy. He was my running back choice. Uh-huh.
That's awful.
I know. I still got 5th place though in my league. So that was still good. Out of 12. So
I'm quitting fantasy.
Why?
Because my league manager's dumb and didn't give the first round or the first, number 1 seed a bye, me. And then it turned out Herbert went down. Rachaad White put up an awful game, the game before he went off.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley, this was the game that he had before he also went off to end the season.
Yes.
So everywhere else where my team dominated, failed.
Ugh.
And I was upset because then the next week, of course, I moved all the way to 3rd place because I destroyed everyone else. When everyone else played good, except the time I needed them to, when I should have been in a bye week.
Yup.
No, that's why I'm never doing fantasy again. I already texted him. I was like, I'm done.
Oh, good Lord.
You can find someone else to replace in the league because I was screwed. I still tell them it was a screw job because you guys were just mad that I was going to win.
Yup.
Outrageous.
It goes. Oh my gosh. First of all, let's talk about the fact that you are listening to WBNY 91.3 FM radio station at the Blitz. I am Emma, nickname soon to be determined Nosby, along with Frank the Tank, Frank Lopez.
That's right.
Yep, that is right. We've been talking about March Madness because as much as we are so sad that the NFL season is officially over as of yesterday,
I'm not that sad anymore.
He's not that sad anymore because
it's baseball season.
Let's talk baseball. I'm not really a baseball person, but let's talk about it.
Oh. Well, I mean, where do we start?
Where do we start?
We talked about last week, Shohei Ohtani's contract, creating some political headline news. California, they want to create some kind of cap on it. Have you seen Ohtani's contract?
Yes, I feel like everybody in the sports world knows about Ohtani.
11 years, $750 million.
Crazy.
But the way they're paying him is, so there was this player in the 90s called Bobby Bonilla. He was a Met. The Mets paid him a lot of money.
Yes.
But they did it where they only pay him like $1 million over the course of 30 years. He's been getting $1 million on the same day every year for the past 30 years. It's become like a national holiday for Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh, wait, I think I've heard of this.
But now, Ohtani, he's getting paid $2 million a year of his 11-year contract, and then $40 million after that every year.
He can retire right now, honestly.
Yeah. But one of the, I believe, governors in California wants to see if they can do anything because they would be losing over $300 million of taxes the way that it's going. Instead of they would be getting $30 million with the way that's going, and they'd be losing out on $300 million in taxes.
So you're saying like the entire state of California is basically paying for his contract?
Basically.
That's odd. I don't know how to feel about it because, well, one, I don't really follow baseball, so I don't have that, like, I shouldn't really have an opinion on it.
Let me just tell you, this man deserves the money.
He does deserve the money. I know he's, like, hella talented. It's just, that's just so weird how they have that paid. Oh.
Yeah, but it's been...
This Bobby Bonilla guy, like,
He sucked. He was awful. And Baltimore did it to another guy called Chris Davis. He had one really good year. Like, he put up, I think, close to 50 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
They paid him a lot of money. The next season, he started, I think, 0-54, 0-60, and then has not, I don't think he's played a game. And he's getting millions of dollars every year.
That's crazy.
But players now, but see, in football, like, they're not really doing, baseball, I think, is probably the closest, baseball and hockey in terms of contracts. Because in football, you're not going to get, like, really, really long deals. In baseball, it's, the new normal is 8+ or 10+.
Okay.
So that's kind of where contracts are right now, but also a load of money. But I mean, heading into the season, this is about to be one of the I said it last year, this is going to be a wacky baseball season. But nothing's really happened, and there's still a lot of good free agents left in baseball. Like, really good. Do you know what the Cy Young Award is for the best pitcher in baseball?
Yes.
All right. Tampa Bay Rays had a player named Blake Snell. Loved him. Broke my heart when we took him out in the World Series. He went to San Diego, won another Cy Young, and he is still currently not signed to a team.
Interesting.
San Diego apparently hasn't looked into an offer for him. And apparently no other team has really caught about Blake Snell. So all I'm praying for is that my owner, Stu Sternberg, opens his wallet and brings him back. Because I can't handle another year of Rays baseball being so good, but we have no one to throw. We have no depth in our bullpen. So that's all I want.
Yeah.
And another bat. And another really good bat on free agent market right now is Cody Bellinger, former MVP. And he was with the MVP with the Dodgers. And then he started really declining. Then Cubs picked him up for league minimum. And then he had almost another MVP season this year.
Okay.
And everyone was like, oh, he's so back. Like, let's go. Hasn't been picked up. Cubs haven't apparently offered him a contract, or they're going to work something out. But no other team is shopping Cody Bellinger. Because the Yankees were gonna, but then they picked up Juan Soto and made my day awful. But it doesn't matter because the Yankees will do absolutely nothing again like they did last year. Because that team is atrocious and deserves nothing. They had their time in the sun, and I want to see them explode. I wish nothing more for that.
So the Texas Rangers did win the World Series, which...
Yep, that happened.
Why did you sigh?
Because they beat the Rays in the wild card.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense now. Again. So they did. First win in franchise history, which is great. It's awesome.
No, it's not. You're saying worse things.
Okay, listen. I'm looking from like an outside perspective being like, oh my God, good for them. It was like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
What?
Gross. That sounded disgusting.
I know. No, the Rays also have never won a World Series, so that means that's another team out of that conversation that's never won a World Series.
Okay. So, without the bias of the Rays.
Yeah, I'll take the bias out of it.
Take the bias out of it.
Good for them.
What is your prediction for the World Series? or just the season 2024?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, I mean, if I'm gonna take a bias out of it, Rays are winning it all. No. Let me.
That is also gonna be starting in March, March 20th through the 21st.
In 4 days, pitchers and catchers report to training camp. It's gonna be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I feel like all the sports are gonna be starting up. I feel like it's always like just football, and now it's like basketball.
Yeah, we
baseball,
just had 6 months straight of football, and now it's like, oh, there's a whole other world of sports happening right now.
For real, it's so funny.
Like the Masters are gonna be starting soon.
Oh,
we'll be watching that. For the AL East, Baltimore's really good. They won 101 games. Tampa Bay came in second with winning 99 games, so it was really close. I'm going to give it no biases and say Tampa wins the AL East, with Baltimore coming in second, and then Toronto staying in third. And I think the Yankees and Boston don't make the playoffs again, because that would be amazing. In the American League Central, I'm going to give it to Cleveland winning it. They had a pretty lackluster year. Detroit came in second, and then Minnesota won it all. I'm going Cleveland.
Interesting.
Just because I think their bullpen is like 10 times better than Minnesota's. And as long as you have Jose Ramirez, star third baseman there, you're fine. And this is where I don't care, the AL West. I want to say Seattle, but Houston and Texas are both in there. They finished with the same record. I didn't even realize that. I'm going to say Seattle wins the AL West, and then Houston and Texas are wildcard teams.
Okay.
Or you know what? Only one of those teams is a wildcard team.
Probably going to be Texas, honestly.
I'm going to say I think Houston misses out.
Yeah.
In the NL East, this is where it just gets sad. Atlanta's going to win it because it's Atlanta. I think Philly has an awful year and becomes fourth and misses out. And I think the Mets take a wildcard spot, because I think the Mets deserve it for what they've been through. NL Central, Cardinals, they have a really good team. Like a really good team. But I'm going to still give it to Milwaukee to win it, just because that is their division, basically.
Okay.
No one wild card from there.
Yes.
And then the NL West, sure, Dodgers will win it again, I guess.
The Dodgers.
And then I guess I like Arizona, but I don't think they're going to go. They're young, but I think San Diego has way too many pieces right now to not make it like they did last year, like the Yankees. I'm going to give the last wild card spot to the Padres. Okay. But I'm telling you right now, the Rays are winning the World Series. I will manifest it until we started off last year 13-0. 13. We had Taylor Swift on our side for half a season. But it can't get it done for us, but she does it for Kansas City.
Exactly. That's the part that like just makes me so mad. It's like after being like a fan, like an actual like true fan for like one season, she gets her Super Bowl, and I'm over here like, I'm 22 years old and I'm still waiting for the Buffalo Bills to win this Super Bowl, man. Like, my parents were like in their early 20s during like the 90s run, and it's just like I feel like it's like history repeating itself.
I would sympathize with you, but I can't.
Yeah. You got freaking Tom Brady.
All right, what about 2002? That's right.
You got John Gruden.
Yeah, just because we played the Raiders doesn't mean anything. We still dominated. 3 pick sixes.
Because they literally kept the exact same method as John Gruden, so Gruden knew everything. I will say, though, congratulations on Rondé Barber getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's in the next 10 years, it'll be Mike Evans and Levante David in there. And then when Tom Brady retires as a Buccaneer. That's my prediction, is he goes into the Hall of Fame as a Buccaneer.
But didn't he retire as a Patriot?
Technically.
Yeah. So how I guess my question is like, how does that work in terms of like if you've been on like multiple teams? I
think it's up to your discretion.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they get like a choice.
Okay.
They'll probably ask you and be like, "Hey, we're probably gonna put you as a Patriot like anywhere else." Like Adrian Peterson, he will be a Hall of Famer, but he's been on so many teams.
Exactly.
So he'll probably go in as a Viking.
Yeah, I was gonna say
out of like just pure longevity and like impact.
He'll definitely go as like a Minnesota Viking. Yeah, exactly.
But like if they want to throw him in there, but like if he all of a sudden is like, you know what, throw me in there as like a Redskin or a Commander, and be like, okay,
yeah,
whatever you say.
Yeah, exactly. That's so weird. I never really thought of it like that before.
But no, I think Tom Brady retires as a Buccaneer.
Interesting.
I mean, his best Super Bowl win is with us. Did it without Belichick. Did it without,
I guess, but also, like, you can always say, like, the first win, just because, they were, like, it was still, like, a very fresh team.
Yeah, backup, basically coming in, just,
Exactly.
Well,
what the 49ers tried to do.
Oh, come on. That's messed up. You know what? They wouldn't have lost last night if they just put Sam Darnold in.
Are you kidding me right now?
What do you mean?
Sam Darnold is such an interesting pick.
It's the greatest Jets quarterback they've had in the past 10 years.
I'm gonna talk about real quick because
Go ahead.
I have this weird thing that every year around draft time, I rewatch the 2018 NFL draft, the first round. They have it posted on YouTube, and I watch the ESPN airing of it because I know the top 10 by heart, and in my eyes I'm like, oh my God, we got Josh Allen. This is fantastic. Like, it was one of those things of just like reminding myself that we should be grateful that we got Josh Allen instead of Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield. Sorry. Or Josh Rosen.
I was going to say.
Let's talk about that. Josh Rosen. I was an Allen person all along, but I have friends who did say Josh Rosen's the better Josh. They obviously regret that.
I was part of that. I was part of that narrative. Because Rosen was really good in college.
Yes, but at the same time, it's like, this is the part that I never understood. It's like, because he literally went into the draft after his sophomore year. It's like, give yourself one more year. He would have been the best choice in 2019 in my eyes. Probably a better prospect than Kyler Murray was.
Not Kyler. Kyler would have been number one for sure.
Honestly, yeah. No, you know what? Never mind. I take that back. Now that I think about it. Now that I think about his college career. But I also am just thinking like I feel like I have a bad taste for people who always go for the draft after their sophomore year after the disaster that was Johnny Manziel. Did you watch that documentary, by the way, on Netflix?
That's the one I haven't watched yet, just because I do not like. I just don't like. I've heard enough about him.
It's quite interesting.
I don't like. I feel like Johnny Manziel is brought up every year, and I always just hear about the same thing. It's like, oh, what could have been? What could have been? I'm like, I'm done. I'm sick and tired of talking about Johnny Manziel.
Basically, what the whole entire documentary is. I'll tell you pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just his whole college career, but he obviously didn't like the fact, because this was pre-NIL. He obviously, if he was in college football during the NIL era that we are in now, he would be like thriving.
This man would be retired.
Yes, exactly. He would thrive. And it's like, he basically was like making money moves, like side hustle stuff, like illegally, essentially, and getting away with it. And then when he got drafted, he also got like very like, overwhelmed with it all too at the same time, because at the end of the day, this kid was like 18, 19 years old. Like, we forget about that.
And doing what 18, 19-year-olds do things at college, other than, really illegal stuff. But
but you know what I mean. So then when he got drafted to the Cleveland Browns, he just was like such in a bad mind space that he's just like, I need to get away from it all. And so he kind of was just like, let's just do it on instinct. And I think like the clip that everybody knows is when he just like makes a zero signal with his hand when talking about how much film he watched when he was a Cleveland Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just so done with it all.
He was done.
But he's doing better. I mean, like, he was like inducted in Texas A&M's like Hall of Fame or whatever.
He tried arena football.
He did try arena football.
Didn't really. Well, not even like arena football. It was like that weird like influencer thing, like where they had like celebrity owners. Yeah. Like Snoop Dogg was one of them. Yeah. Some TikToker was one.
Whomever.
I don't know. But I know Johnny Manziel was part of that.
But he is getting better. Like, he's obviously like he just had a lot going on in his head, and he just wasn't in the right mindset to play. And I do feel sorry for him.
I know. But I see people saying like, oh, he should get another shot at the NFL. No. Once you reach a certain, like, once you're past it and you're out of it for so long, you can't just come back in with one spring and then one summer of training and think you're going to be,
No. I mean, look at Josh Allen. Like, it's like, it takes years to become the elite person that you you strive to become.
That's why, because when the Jets said they want to go get, like there was a possibility of them getting Kaepernick, I was not with it. Like, I love Kaepernick, but like, there were so many other options out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you did have Joe Flacco, technically. Like, you had him at one point, and you let that go.
Yeah, I can see that.
And like, you're like,
it's like that with Cam Newton too. Like, it's like the same
with the Patriots, and then went back to Carolina for a little bit.
I did say that they should bring in Cam Newton, like during that, the Patriots should, like during that like season, because I knew that they were gonna like use him as like a bridge quarterback and then bring in and then like use 2021 because that was probably one of, well, 2018 is in this decade.
And
well,
now he's
in the 2010s decade, the best quarterback class. Sorry.
Now he's probably the best quarterback they've had.
2012 fans.
Probably the best quarterback they've had in the past 4 years.
Who, Cam Newton? Oh,
for the Patriots. It's probably the best quarterback they've had in the past 4 years is Cam Newton.
So wild to hear. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So they have Mac Jones. They have Bailey Zappi. They have the 3rd overall pick.
They trade up and get Caleb Williams.
I was going to say they just keep theirs and go with Jaden Daniels.
What?
Jaden Daniels.
No.
3rd overall. That's my mock draft. I say they keep it and they get Jaden Daniels.
That's I wish I knew what Gerard Mayo's like whole scheme is going to be.
Me too, because that would
because
make
then it would make it
better.
so easy to be like, oh yeah, you know what?
yeah. But no, I literally see it as Caleb Williams, Drake May, then Jaden Daniels. It's gonna be.
You have
like,
Drake May second?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like I'm gonna see it. It's gonna be like the 2021 class where it's like 3 quarterbacks go first thing. If they decide for some reason to keep Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, they're gonna pick Marvin Harrison Jr. and I'm gonna be so.
I don't want that.
I'm gonna be so pissed.
Don't spank that. Don't speak that into the air.
I know, but it's gonna happen. I feel like it's just if it doesn't happen, then wait. Did they ever hire a GM? The Patriots?
No clue.
Because that was the thing. It was like I always wanted Belichick to like step down from his GM role. It was Michael Lombardi who said it on the Pat McAfee show the one day, and it has stuck with me ever since. No, I'm being serious because obviously he was a GM for the Patriots at one point. That it's like, how do I word it? It's like not power hungry, but like culture. Like he just wants to like have full ownership of the culture, if that makes sense, and like keep that culture.
I see it. Like the Patriot way.
Yes.
Like everyone knows what the Patriot way is technically.
Yes. I'm actually glad, no offense, that Belichick didn't get the coaching job. I don't know. I think because everyone was saying Atlanta, and I'm just like, I feel like
I didn't want him at Atlanta.
Atlanta has so many young people that it's like
it would have been.
I think Raheem Morris was the perfect choice.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little scared of the Falcons for the upcoming season. Like scared of them.
Yeah, but my thing is like, are they gonna keep Desmond Ridder, or are they gonna do like a or are they gonna draft a quarterback?
That's the thing. They won games, so it's not even like they have a decent draft pick.
Or are they going to? Because I saw this on the internet and I'm totally riding with it. Or do they trade up to get, or do not trade up, but do they trade to get Mr. Unlimited?
No. Mr. Unlimited. I think they go out. I think they go and get Mr. E Dubs. He stays in the NFC South for his 3rd NFC South team. I think they go get Jameis Winston.
Ooh.
But Jameis can. People know he can ball.
He can ball. He's such a good leader too. I feel like
he's
not a good leader, but like he's
charismatic.
He's a very charismatic human being,
and I love him.
And he is able to get a crowd going.
Yeah, he is.
Eating the W's.
I love Jameis.
Famous Jameis.
Like before we announced Brady, we cut Jameis.
Mm-hmm.
That was generally one of the worst weeks of my life. I was heartbroken because I love Jameis. Coming out of FSU, Florida State guy comes into Tampa, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna be a team. Obviously, we're not. But then has the 30-30 season with over 5,000 yards.
That's crazy. That was wild.
That was my Super Bowl, and I was like, no one can talk to me. Because I have Jameis Winston as my quarterback, and I'm better than you.
Ah,
And then, of course, we come and get Tom Brady. You know, the rest is history.
the rest is history, unfortunately.
I like Jameis. And you know what? I know I said his name earlier. Go get Sam Darnold.
I mean, he definitely has all the potential based on what you've seen with USC and stuff like that. It's just he just went to a horrible team with a horribly managed.
Adam Gase was the head coach. We can't blame him.
Exactly. Like,
Gase
you gotta
was
remember.
the head coach.
You must remember that. We got 9 minutes left until the end of this show.
That is
Frank,
true.
it was great talking to you. I feel like I got.
You're ending it?
No, we're not ending it. I'm just like, I just want to say it like right now before I forget. Like,
It's been a pleasure.
yeah, you know, it's been cool.
It was. When I walked in, I was just like, all right, let me rush from and I just looked to my right. I'm like, oh, hi.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you weren't here for the beginning of the show, my class got canceled today. So, because I normally am able to only do Fridays, but my class got canceled today, so I am here instead.
That's why I was just shocked, and I was like, all right.
Which, thank God, because honestly, I
would have been alone. So like
that, but I also, because it's the day after the Super Bowl, I wanted to talk about it, and I feel like if I waited until Friday, it was going to be old news.
Yeah.
So like,
You got him running time.
I was kind of glad that happened, to be quite honest with you. We talked a lot. We talked March Madness. I got you hyped up for March Madness.
You did.
We
Like
got-
the app. I think the app installed.
We got hockey going. We talked a little baseball with the issue with Ohtani's contract, which is still very wild to me.
I'm telling you, Rays are gonna win it all. Everyone calls me a lunatic.
What haven't we talked about?
Dan's not here to give us any lacrosse league news.
Oh yes, NLL. I think it's so cool that we have a lacrosse team here in Buffalo. Like, that's just so cool to me. Like,
I think I'll like it once I go to a game.
well, and the fact that we're good. My first game I went my freshman year of high school. It was like for like a bonding thing for one of my school groups, and it was awesome. It was just so fun. The Bandits are currently 4th with a 5-3 record.
We're awful.
The Albany Firewolves and the Toronto Rock tie with a 6-2 record. But Albany takes the number 1 spot because of it.
I forgot. The NLL has sick logos.
They do.
I forget how sick their
1, 2,
logos
3.
are. Oh, not Halifax. Never mind.
There's 15 teams.
Wait a minute. Am I wrong? I thought they had way cooler logos. And yeah, the Colorado Mammoth. There we go. That's the logo I remember.
Yes.
Riptide is sick.
Do you think? I mean, you're not really a lacrosse person, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bandits go back to back for championship.
I can genuinely tell you absolutely nothing about lacrosse.
See, I played lacrosse when I was a kid. I was goalie for a majority of my time when I was a kid. It's fun. It's a fun sport. I really do enjoy it.
This lacrosse looks fun.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know they hit people.
Yeah, box lacrosse.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Mhm.
Because I went to one high school game.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I'm so bored.
Yeah, my buddy, one of my best friends, he still plays lacrosse. He plays lacrosse for college, but he did play lacrosse in high school. So I've been accustomed to watching men's lacrosse in high school just because he was there. But yeah, it's girls lacrosse is a little bit different just because obviously it's not it's not a lot of hitting and stuff like that too. But
boring. Let them fight.
Oh my god. See, this is the WWE fan in you coming out.
No, even the women's hockey league that just started, the PHL or what? First night, a brawl, and I'm like, this is what I want. Let them fight. There was no fight in the NHL that night, but there was a women's hockey fight, and I was like, yes.
Yo, that's crazy.
It may be the wrestling fan in me that just wants to see people punch each other.
It definitely is the wrestling fan in you.
And the UFC fan.
Yes, that too.
That's something we never talk about on here.
UFC?
That's something we
You should
never
bring it up more often.
I should. You're absolutely right.
I feel like you and Justin would definitely want that. Like, he would definitely want to talk about that too.
Just because, well, there's nothing really going on. There's no cool things announced.
This is such it's a weird resting period in the world of sports. But then it's you also have, don't forget, we have the Olympics this summer in Paris. Yeah.
Oh my God, the Olympics.
Uh-huh. That's the only time I get super patriotic is the Olympics.
And the World Cup.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big soccer person, but I'll watch it.
I'm telling you, if you watch, when you go to a bar and there's 50 to 100 people and we're all just chanting for the U.S., It's the greatest feeling I've ever felt in my life.
I also did enjoy Ted Lasso. Like that's such a good show.
Oh my, we can't get into it. We had a whole
until we die. Rich until we die.
We had a whole episode that I produced where we talked about our favorite movies and shows. We got maybe 8 callers, and it lasted the whole show. We don't know what happened, but last time we talked about movies and TVs was a train wreck, but a beautiful one.
That's cool. 8 callers. Wow, that's a lot.
It just kept happening. And I was just looking at her like, we got another one. We got another one. We're like, what's happening?
It's a hot commodity.
Yeah, but oh my God.
That's crazy.
There is breaking news in the UFC.
Ooh, okay.
The official main event for UFC 300 is Leon the Lion Edwards versus Kazmat Chimaev. I love Leon.
Okay, there you go. That's a good thing for Frank the Tank over here, then. That's all that matters.
He's like, when you think of an underdog in the UFC, he is one of the biggest ones.
Okay.
So him being in the main event of UFC 300 is massive for me.
There you go.
But no John Jones.
Okay. Again, I'm not a UFC person, but I am more than willing to learn.
Breaking news.
Another one?
The Cowboys and Mike Zimmer have officially agreed to terms.
Officially!
Dallas has its new defensive coordinator.
We officially, because Dan did mention that it hasn't been confirmed. Now it's confirmed, Dan.
It's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Dallas are going to be third.
Like third in the division?
Yes, third in the division.
Who's going to okay, so who do you think is going to take? Is it going to be Eagles, Commanders, then Cowboys, Giants? Because that's what I would assume.
Commanders.
Oh.
Giants. Them boys. The stupid birds. Yeah, that's right. And I meant that. Like, I'm not even saying that.
Dan Quinn revenge.
Like, I'm not even saying that's like a joke. That's my legit, like, actual,
hey,
like, thinking
yo,
of
that
rankings.
is a hot take.
Like, I think it could switch between
like,
Giants and Commanders.
That's hot.
Like, I think it switches between Giants and Commanders.
Interesting.
But Eagles are last in that.
Interesting.
They're losing Hassan Reddick.
Oh yeah, yes. That we didn't talk about that, but let's talk about it for the last 3 minutes.
Hassan Reddick is looking for a trade.
Yeah, they gave him permission. That's crazy. I don't know what's going on in that locker room, but
The downfall is beautiful.
That's interesting.
And no one reports have come out about AJ Brown, because apparently he's been pretty like vocal. Not vocal, but just like there have been like reports coming from inside that he's not happy.
See, I don't want to say that because it's like it's that whole thing like with Stefon Diggs, like everybody's creating that narrative that Diggs doesn't like Buffalo, but he has vocally like straight up said he loves it here and he's gonna retire a Bill, like that's what he wants.
Also, after that Trayvon Diggs tweet where it was like, get my brother out of there.
Oh my God, shut up.
You haven't seen Trayvon Diggs tweet about anything
else
to do about Bills and Diggs since then.
Nope.
So I think Stefon went to him and was like, don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly. It's stuff like that where it's just like, I get it. Like, obviously, being a professional athlete takes up your whole life. But
Yeah.
it's like, when it comes to like the family affairs, stuff like that, like, look at Aaron Rodgers. Like, he hasn't even talked to his parents in like how many years?
Look at Patrick.
Yeah.
Look at his whole thing. He gets his third Super Bowl. His dad gets his third DUI.
His brother is literally doing stupid stuff on the internet.
His brother is an awful person.
Yeah. Like, good God. The fact that he's my age, he's so immature.
What?
Yeah, he's my age.
He's 22?
He's 22. Uh-huh. We have 1 minute left in the show. We're gonna wrap this up. But I wanna thank you all for listening to the Blitz on this lovely Monday, day after the Super Bowl on 91.3 FM WBNY. Once again, my name is Emma.
We just shout out socials now. You can say.
Oh, yes. Socials. Twitter and Instagram is at Emma Nospe, KNOSPE. No spaces, no caps, no nothing. Nickname soon to be determined. Frank?
Find me on X at Frank561 Lopez, or on the gram, where I really just do nothing except post when the Panthers win. At Frank Lopez _561.
All right. Thank you all again. We will see you same time, same place, Wednesday. It has been Monday, February 12th, the day after the Super Bowl. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, y'all.
Go Panthers.